I cast my vote for the Swede because why not? Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Erik Karlsson is really good. He's going to need a partner. And it shouldn't surprise any longtime listener of this show that I believe in Marcus Pettersson in all capacities, and I believe in Pettersson as the right partner for Karlsson. Now, I can get into all kinds of little technical inside hockey stuff and come up with some data to support this. I can come up with just some recent historical precedent in that Marcus earned his promotion alongside Chris Letang last season and never let it go. Never let it go. This is probably the point to emphasize more than any other. I get the sense that when Pettersson arrived from Anaheim, there was a feeling that this was some veteran defenseman. This was some veteran guy. And Marcus kind of has that, he doesn't look like he probably never looked like a kid. You know, he's got kind of a mature looking face. Okay. That I don't know that how many people realized or even let it process that he was only 22 years old. He was also 22 years old playing for Mike Sullivan, who, last I checked, doesn't like playing young guys. Doubly so when it comes to the blue line. But Marcus played right away. And Marcus's progress, as is the case with most young players, was not linear. Heck, Marcus was scratched as recently just a couple seasons ago. Healthy scratch. Remember that? Late in the season? Well, there was nothing of the kind in the 2022-23 season because he grew up. He advanced in all capacities, and he became a legitimate top pairing. Can I say that? I know that makes some people cringy. Left-handed defenseman. Now, is he a top 25 guy in the league or whatever? No, nobody would say that. But there aren't really too many holes in his game, and there are no fatal flaws. He's eliminated that. He's figured out a way to take all of his capabilities, including, by the way, joining the rush, sometimes even leading the rush, and making it part of a good, solid, sound, dependable, really smart overall game. So why not? Because the next thing I'm about to say is like the absolute epitome of, hey, that really shouldn't mean anything, but it does. He's Swedish. Those of you who've never heard the story or who don't go back this far with the sport might find it interesting to read up on the background of the Russian defensemen, that's plural, Alexei Kasatonov and Vyacheslav Fetisov. They were part of the great Russian Five, KLM unit, that just dominated the rink, dominated possession in a way that's really not even possible today. Meaning they were competing year-round, 11 months out of the year for the Central Red Army. They were put through, okay, I'll skip that part of the story. It was rough on those guys, okay? And what they had to do was excel at hockey, and they had to learn every little thing about all four of the people they were on the rink with. They were deployed as a quintet. Their relationship, however, off the ice was awful, and they would not speak to each other. They had to communicate on the ice out of necessity. So even when they got to the NHL, they played for the Devils initially. They were silent off the ice, hated each other, completely hated each other. But on the rink, it looked like they were the same player. They looked like twins. They were just reading off of each other. It was a brilliant thing to watch. Now, that's the extreme example. But there is a benefit to a comfort level a trust level, a common language. Not that either Pettersson or Karlsson needs help with their English, but there's a faster assimilation, I think, for Karlsson. There's a faster comfort level. Pettersson is a systems guy, loves to talk about systems, believes in the Pittsburgh system, is the only one he's really known outside of a short time in Anaheim. I think this would be the right grouping. Now, that kind of call isn't made in a vacuum. Can Chris Letang find a similar vibe with Ryan Graves, who's going to be brand new to the Penguin system as well? That also matters. You're not going to hear me discarding Letang and his value to the team, including 5-on-5. So there's more than one part that's moving in this equation. But as it applies to Karlsson, purely, I just can't fathom not taking advantage of the fact that your top left-handed defenseman last season was Swedish. Really, it doesn't have to be all that complicated. When we come back, J1Q. And for today's J1Q, as promised, yesterday we're going to continue reading more of those hopes messages that I'd asked for a couple of days ago, meaning, give me your hopes for the team, but specifically not related to, well, I hope they win games. And the stuff that I got from people was just outstanding. It really was. And I wish that I'd had more time to read even more of them. But here, I've got 5 more today. This one comes from Lasse in Sweden, who says, "Hi, DK. My hope for the Penguins next season, I just hope they make the playoffs. I can't take another long off season to dwell over missed opportunities. Enough is enough." Okay, all right. So that's not good enough, Lasse, is all I'm thinking as I read this. And then at the end, he does say, heck, let's do it for Erik Karlsson, okay? Yeah, now that's what you're looking for. You're looking for something that's specific. And if that means that they treat Erik Karlsson like, hey, dude's never won a cup, he's 32, truly, legitimately great player, that resonates. Evan says, my hopes are to not be disappointed watching 3-1 leads 30 minutes in turn into 5-4 losses by the 60th minute. Enjoy this team before our core guys enter the hall. Bales says, hoping for a multi-year John Elway-esque sunset cruise. Heck, Bales, why not go for the full Tom Brady? Elway won 2 Super Bowls on his way out. Brady won like 100. AJ says, injury luck equals full potential of the lineup going as far as it can go in urgency/focus on team defense. A full commitment by Tristan Jarry. No safe spots on the roster. Your level of play actually determines your ice time. Lots of stuff to think about in there. Ben will round this out by saying, develop a rhythm or consistency and an identity. Maintain some focus. Reduce unforced errors. Here's all I'll add to everything that came in over the last couple of days. One, I'm a little surprised at the percentage of them that reflected defense or just team defending or team prevention of goals, if you want to include the goaltender. It's clear that that's gotten to people. This is not the Pittsburgh from, 20, 30, 40 years ago where it was just like, just outscore them. We don't care. Ha, ha, ha. Look at us. This is different. When you watch the Stanley Cup playoffs, you can see that there's a value to preventing. You can see that it keeps you in any game. And this is a point, in fairness, that Mike Sullivan's been making himself, but he makes it more powerfully off the ice than he does on it. There are situations that cry out for putting a certain line over the boards. Final minute of the period. First minute of the period. Heck, I know he's really big on doing that with Sid. And Sid, of course, has done well with it. Sid does well with everything. But there are times where maybe you can send a little bit of a different message. 3-1 is the lead that was cited in here. Go ahead and open the period with Lars Eller's line. Go ahead. Why not? Why not? Get yourself a decent 45 seconds out of them, set a little bit of a tone, make it a little boring. You know, don't do anything interesting. Don't do anything fascinating. Just eat 45 seconds off the clock, get back to the bench, and let Sid roll. Good stuff. Thanks so much to everybody. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who listens to Daily Shot of Penguins. We're going to do another one of these Monday.